So let's issue this command. Okay, sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm going to create admin, and I'm now going to use an email address and just type in some password. Okay. And now, so if you remember, we were creating an app inside our project, which is called Race. So now that we've gotten to this point, there is already another app, another part of the project, which is the admin site. Okay, so we can see how this works by starting the server. Okay, and now we can go here and we can go to this address. So it's whoops, that's, I don't want that. 127.0.0.1 8000 admin. Okay, so here we're going to type in the username and the password that we just created. Let me know if that worked for you. Let me know when you're caught up and we'll move forward. And let me know, of course, let me know if you have any questions. These are the instructions I followed.
Yeah, I got in.
Awesome. Ajay, let me know how it goes, or if you want to go through some stuff together. Ajay, you doing okay?
Yes.
Talk to me. It's all good. Just let me know where you are.
Yeah, I have done this. I have created this for my site yesterday, and I'm creating for this race. I'm done.
Ah, okay, great. Okay, so now one thing that we would want to do is, you might have noticed if you log in, you will see that all you get is this authentication and authorization, and you just get the groups and the users. So one thing that we can do is to modify this file called, well, not polls, but race admin. Okay, so it's this file here. What? Okay, sure. And then we want to include from our models module the car and the driver. So from .models import car driver, car comma driver, and then we need to have two commands to register car and then register driver. Then we'll save.
Yeah, Alex, I did. I completed.
Okay, awesome. Ling, are you doing okay too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now if you go to your site administration and just refresh, you will see that you will get cars and drivers show up as well. And then you can go in here and you can make some changes. Go in there, go in here. But these don't look very nice. And the reason they don't look nice is that we don't have or at least I don't have an str function for them. Okay, so if we haven't done that yet, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's see, what formatting are they recommending? Okay, just the question text. We probably want to do something a bit more complex, like self.make plus self.model. That sounds good. And then here we want to return self.name. And then we want to do self.model between quotes. And sorry, self.nickname between quotes. Okay, and now when we go back here and refresh this, now when I go to the car, I get the name, the make, and the model of the car. If I go to the drivers, I get the name and the nickname of the driver. I want a little space here. There we go. Okay. Okay. So now we're in a pretty good position. Now we don't have to go into the database to add or change the data. We can just do it from the admin. And we're going to move on. And we're going to talk a little bit about adding another view to our race. Although really, it's not so much about adding views. It's more about making the. I think we're more interested in making the current view more interesting. The index view. And what we probably want to do with the index view is we want to take all the different drivers and we want to display their car on the main page. So we want to go like here, race like that, and here. Well, actually, I tell you what. Let's do on the index view. We will show a link to start a race. And then when we click that, we will go to another view and actually execute the race. Okay, now let's see. Okay. And we actually want to start with, I think it's probably easier to start with templates. So here is the general structure. You've got views, which is a Python model. These views will can actually redirect to an HTML template. And it's probably easier if I show you what that's like. So a template will look something like this. Let me create it here. So under race, we're going to create a new folder called templates. And under this, we're going to create a new folder called race. I'm not sure why that's the convention, but that's what we're going through. Just 1 second. Okay. And we're going to start with something super simple. Just going to make a new file, call it index.html. So this is going to be basically an HTML file, except we're going to have some, we're going to add some other non-HTML things on top of it. So instead of putting this inside the Python code, we will move it from here and put it here. Okay, it's basically the same thing, but instead of rendering it directly here, we're going to redirect to an HTML file. And this is how we're going to do that. So instead of 1 second, just trying to. Right. HTTP response. This is the code for that. HTTP response template.render context request. We don't need to worry about the context here just yet. We will in a second. I'm going to start with this. And instead of actually, you know what? For context, just do an empty dictionary like this. And I think I need to import something else. Just a second. Yeah. And you also need to get this from Django.template import loader. I see. Yeah, we have to do this here. Sorry, I had almost missed it. So what happens is we import this class called loader. We'll put it right here. And then we use this class to load the template. And you always missing something. In our case, it's going to be race/index.html. So once more, we were before this, what we were doing is we were just returning an HTTP response that was just the text. Now what we're doing is we're getting this template, which we wrote over here, and we are returning that template. Any questions about this so far?
Can I see the index.html again?
Yeah. Right now, it just contains the message that was previously in our views file.
Okay.
Can you show me the models? I mean, models again.
Models.py. This one?
Yeah, that's where you change it, right? Oh, no.
No, it was in views. Views.py. Here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I put this here.
So, yeah, I'm kind of lost. So I created that index.html under templates race. Then I have to state the string. Then I have to modify the views.
Yeah, views.py. Mm-hmm. Is that okay, Ajay?
Give me a minute.
Yeah, of course. Take your time.
Can you show me the output again? I mean,
The output?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Like the display of the string again. You have to view it in the server, or
We haven't looked at the server yet. We're
Wait.
just setting this up.
Okay, we're just changing the code.
For now, yeah.
Can you explain me again this one? I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Right. So what we had before was this line. It looked like this. Oop. Okay. And so what we want to do is, instead of rendering the code directly here, we want to put it in a file, in an HTML file. And the reason we will do that is that it's easier to edit the HTML separately from the code.
Okay.
That's the primary reason for doing that.
So what does the template.render method do?
So this essentially just renders this template. Right now, it's in this current scenario, all it does is it just renders this text. But in the next step, we will see what we can do with this.
Okay.
Okay? Everybody else all right?
Yeah, so what does the context do?
So I think I just want to wait 1 second till the next step, and then I will explain the context.
Okay.
And so like the current situation, if we go back here and refresh, it's the same thing. We get the same result. Now, if I come here and I say, this is rendered from a template, okay, and save, and I refresh, then I get this. Now, here is where we can start doing fun stuff. So for example, we could go in the context and add an element where we'll say extra message, and then put this here. And in the template, what we will do is use this syntax, which is from the tutorial. And what we will do is it would look like this. So inside the HTML, and actually, let me just officially make this HTML because it's supposed to be. Well, does it have to be? Just to make a point, this is HTML. Oops. Okay, yeah, close this. So inside the HTML, I can have like the standard HTML tags, like can make this a paragraph, for example. And then, and I can make this another paragraph. And inside this paragraph, I can use this syntax with the double curly braces to bring in values from the code. Okay, question.id doesn't make any sense here, but this extra message does. So the extra message that I put on the context dictionary will be referenced here, and then this message will show up. Okay, let's try this and see how it works. Okay, so this code is no longer on the template now. This is coming from this context. Let me know if this makes sense or if you have questions. Okay, so take your time and try to put this together with what we have, and then we'll do some more fun things. I'll be right back. Okay, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Good? Okay. Ajay, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm creating the dictionary. Started now.
Okay. Madeleine, how are you?
Now I don't have a stable internet connection, so just try to do things that you are doing here now.
Sorry, just trying to what?
What you are trying to do here?
Okay. So instead of just putting inside the view, just putting what we want to show up on the web page, we have created a separate file, and we call this file a template.
Okay.
And in the file, you can have HTML code, which it's very basic stuff at this point. You just have these tags that separate your paragraphs. And you can put in text that you want to show up on the page, but you can also add data that comes from the view. So for example, this extra message comes from here. So you think you would be able to create this on your side?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, great. Yeah, just let me know if you have questions about this. Okay. So let's do something even more fun. We are going to read a list of drivers and their car. Now I only have one, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is this. First, I want to import driver. And then I want to get a list of all the drivers here. And finally, I'm going to add that list inside the context dictionary. Okay, so here's my list of drivers. Here's my context dictionary. And then I'm going to output them in my template using this syntax here. Yeah. And let me see if I get, there we go, perfect. So have a look at this and try to put it together. Let me know if you have questions or you run into any trouble. Madeleine, even without the drivers, were you able to get to a good point?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So what is the UL and LI stand for?
Ah, yes. So a quick description of HTML. So HTML is not really a programming language. It's a layout language. So what that means is you have different types of content. Most of the time it's going to be text, but you could also have images and so on. And so all these different elements like the text and any other elements, you describe what they, how they should be arranged on the page. And the way you do that is using these tags. So this HTML tag is the root of any HTML document. So technically, all HTML pages should start with this and end with it. And you'll notice this is how you start the tag, and how you close it is the same name, but you use this slash. Okay, so essentially and that creates sort of a tree structure, right? So this HTML element is at the very top, and it contains all the rest of the document. Another tag is P. P is for paragraph. So what this is saying here is that this line of text is a paragraph on its own. So that means there will be spacing between it and other paragraphs. So here we have another paragraph. And then we just have some random text. This is not included in a tag, and it's perfectly okay to do that. And UL is a tag that stands for unnumbered list. Another one, another version of UL is, or sorry, a different kind of list is OL, which stands for ordered list. And this one is numbered. You see, now when I refresh the page, this turned into a 1. And depending on your situation, you would use one or another. You're familiar with LaTeX, so this is, in a sense, something somewhat similar to LaTeX. Although LaTeX is much more sophisticated. And then LI stands for list element. And as you can see here, we're beginning LI here, and we're ending it here. So this is one element of the list. And then the list itself, the whole thing, starts here and ends here. Does that help a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But this is HTML that's mixed in with Django template language, which is very similar to Python, although not exactly the same. Pure HTML looks like this, and if you go to your view and right-click, you should have the option to view page source. And this is what pure HTML looks like. So you'll notice that here you just have the content and the tags. Is everybody caught up? Have you managed to write all of this, and is it working for you? Hello, anybody?
For me, just a little bit more time. 2 more
Okay.
moments.
Sure. Ajay, how's it going for you?
I'm getting an error importing the driver.
What's the error?
I imported the driver class, but I'm not able to get the driver.objects method.
And you used this line to import?
Yes, I did.
You have to have this little dot here.
Which one?
Before models, you have to have a dot.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Let me stop.
So
Oh, I wouldn't rely on this. So Visual Studio Code is not a full-blown IDE. It won't have code completion for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should be okay.
This should be okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
running.
It is?
I mean,
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't necessarily worry about that.
okay.
At least I don't think. I think that should be okay.
I'll try to write, write the index system. I'll try to run it and see if it runs.
Okay.
Can you share your screen?
Yep. Okay, we'll give you guys just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, how are we doing?
Can you show me the output once?
The output from this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Server. Okay.
What are you getting?
Yeah, I'm getting the same.
But maybe with different data, right?
No, I'm getting the same. Oh, yeah, but the speed is not in double quotes. Maybe
It's what? I'm sorry?
the speedy is not in double quotes.
The speedy is not what?
In double quotes.
Oh, so that depends on, so what you are seeing here is whatever you defined the str method to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I got it. You provided the double quotes in.
Right, yeah, between the nicknames.
Okay. Yeah. And can you go through this loop again? While loop I didn't. What is it doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what happens here is here we're getting all of the drivers on this line. And if there are multiple drivers, we want to display them in a list.
Mm-hmm.
So we want
in driver, it will display the driver name and driver the assigned car to the driver, right?
right.
Okay. So the driver dot car is that we assigned the driver a car yesterday, last week. That's the car. I mean, yeah. Okay. Okay, I got it. It will assign. It will get the car name of the driver. The driver name. Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's the next step that we're going to do, which is to add another driver and to see the result. But I just want to make sure everybody is caught up and we've addressed the questions up to here. Madeline, since you missed the beginning, maybe we can make sure that you are caught up before we continue.
Well,
Yep.
for index that I just need to write this code here. Hello world, you're about to see a start a race.
Yeah. You can skip that line if you want. The main point is the lines 5 through 10.
Okay, 5 to 10. So just a little bit to write it down.
Okay, let's just do one more minute. So guys, while Madalena is wrapping up the template work, if you guys could try to add a couple more drivers via the admin interface, and just go ahead and try that and make sure that on the template you get what you expect. Meaning all of the drivers show up.
So Alex, I've been putting this index HTML.
Uh-huh.
If you want, I can share my screen. Maybe
So, sorry, can you speak up a bit, please, sir?
to share my screen.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great.
Okay. So I made this one here and index.
Right. Index should be, so you have to create another folder called templates.
Okay.
Inside race, you have to create another folder called templates. Without the second E. So remove the second E. Yep, that's it. Right, and that needs to be a folder, not a file.
But it's telling me there. Oh, I need to. Okay, so I think now it's okay.
Okay, and then under templates, you need to make another folder called race. It's a bit strange. Not another file, another folder. Just hit escape. Yep. And now move index. So just drag index.html into
race.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't want to start.
Have you started the server?
No, I think not. Okay, so tell me how can I start? Because,
So exit the Python interactive.
I don't hear you too good.
Can you? Yeah, I can't hear you very well either. It would be great if you were able to speak a bit louder, please. So you have to see what the message that you just got. Okay, so now type Python manage.py. No. You have to exit again. Now you're no longer at the command line, you're in Python.
What?
You can do Control D. Okay, so Python manage.py run server. One word, run server. Yep. That's strange. Oh,
Nice.
yeah, you have to get out of the current folder. So delete this command line. Okay, so type pwd, please. Yeah. Okay, so you have to go outside one folder because you are too far deep. So the way to exit the current folder is cd space and then 2 dots. No, so not pwd, cd for change directory.
Ah,
Yeah, but not colon. So space, then dot, and then another dot. Yeah. Okay, now type pwd again. Yeah, so see, now you are one folder up. Now you can hit the up arrow and it will go back through your history. Yeah, and just do this one. Yeah, there's an error, unfortunately. So let's see. So you have to read what the error says in order to try to understand it. So there are multiple places where it mentions something that might be useful. But I think the first place to look, sorry, is right there, is at the very end. What does it say?
line 1 for video import.
Yeah, but forget that part. Read where it says that it happened. Where,
Line 1.
of which file?
View py.
So let's go to that file. Okay, do you see where you have that red line at the top?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the error there? What's different between that line and line 3?
And line 3?
What's the difference between line 1 and line 3? Well, there are many differences, but let's describe some of the differences. You can remove line 2 if you want, just to see like what's different between line 1 and line 2. Can you give me one example of one thing that is different?
Should I do like this?
Okay. You don't have to remove the underscores. What probably happened is somehow the spaces got removed. So from and import are not one word with future. They are separate words. But you do need the underscores, both before and after. No, but okay, but underscores are not the same as space, Madali. So I'm asking you, do you, there we go. And what's the other one? There we go. Now just go ahead and save. Let's go to the terminal. It might work already, but you might have to restart the server. Yeah. Oh, I think it was Unicode literals instead of just Unicode literal. So just add an S at the end. Yeah. And save. Yep. I still don't think it worked. Okay, yeah, it worked. Never mind. All right, so now let's reload the page. Okay, so let's go try to solve the issue. So first of all, where is the error? Let's look at the error message. By the way, you can make that terminal window, you can make it larger. If you go to the terminal window, the terminal, the command line, yeah, you can, yes, make it larger, and it's might be easier to read. Okay, so you can make it as large as you want so that each of the error lines will be on its own line. Because right now the lines are too long and they're hard to read, I think.
Yeah. For drivers, I think I need more space here.
Okay, great. So let's go get it.
So it's so
Okay, so which one of these files do we recognize? Do we recognize any of the files involved in the error?
for B,
What's that? Can you speak up, please?
I think migration. No,
Where do you see that? Can you show me?
I'm not seeing now.
Okay, so let's look at the error, please. Okay, so now look let's read each one. Which file is that in? Okay, great. Yeah, just if you can select exactly. So I don't recognize that file. I don't know what it is. So it's not useful to me right now. What's the next one?
So this.
What's that?
I think it's in this one here now.
Yes, it is. So also not useful. So basically anything that's in Anaconda, lib, Python, and so on, those things will not be useful. Yeah, we don't need that. Right. We don't want the next one either. What's the next one after that?
This one here.
Do we recognize that file?
Why? Right here. Render context request.
What do you think is the issue here? It's first of all, which line is this happening on? By the way, for everybody else, I realize that this is on somebody else's machine, but the reason I'm going through this is that you will have to go through this a lot. When you're programming, this type of error will happen a lot. And I really mean a lot. And it won't happen enough for you to learn by heart how to solve each problem. So what I'm doing here with Medellin is I'm going through each step of solving any problem, okay? And that's why if you can also follow along, I think that will be helpful. It might even help if you see the problem first, and that way you can help Medellin find the problem as well. So Medellin, which line is the error on?
It's something here because we have a red line.
That's a good guess, but probably not. Can you look at the error and see if you can figure out which line it's happening on?
In index.
Which line?
Which line? 16 now.
Okay.
So
So if you see there in the error, it tells you what the line is, right?
yeah, it says.
So does it look like the line you're looking at?
So is this one here?
That's right. Okay. Can you see where the problem is?
This is a point, not a comma.
Yes, fantastic. Great job, sir. Yeah, that's really how problem solving in computer science works a lot of the times.
Okay. Pair up the drivers. Okay. So it worked now.
So yeah, it has, but
Not fully.
also yeah, because you seem to not have any drivers. Okay, let's see. Let's go maybe to somebody else who's also working, and let's see if they can help a bit. Okay, have you guys been able to add more drivers?
Yes.
Yes.
And Ajay, yeah?
Yeah, I added one driver.
Okay, excellent. All right, so then here's what we want to do for probably for the next time. Make sure. So for next time, we want to, well, two things. One is to get caught up to this point with the polls project, and two is to move past this point and basically to convert the HTTP response calls to render calls. Okay, so let me show you how that works. And as you can see, we already had the import here. We're going to switch to this render because it's very common to use this pattern where you have a template which you load and then you render the template with a particular context. So instead of going through all these steps like loading the template and then specifying this and then calling HTTP response, we're going to use this shortcut. And this is going to do the exact same thing, but with different code. It looks like this. Context. So first you specify three parameters. One is the context, that's the first one. The second one is the path to the template. And the last is the request. So it's very similar to this, except the information is specified in a different way. And then you no longer need this template variable. And this is the, whoops, okay. Let's see where the error is. Context must be a dictionary rather than WSGI request. That's strange. Okay, let's see what we have here. But it is a dictionary. Oh, I understand. I actually messed up the order. It's first is a request, and the context is at the end. So the complaint was about the data types. Because I had reversed the parameters, it was complaining that it was expecting a dictionary, and then instead it got a different type. And so this is the result. So what I'd like to ask is that with both our project and with the polls project, that you come to this point where you're instead using this render method. And with the polls project, there are actually a few other views that it will create. So that'll give you a chance to practice a bit. And the next time you can, I would actually recommend that you go to the bottom of the page and see how far you get, but especially that you write down questions. This is a really good place to, or next time, it's a good place to get caught up if there are any questions. And then next time we'll talk about forms, which you use to collect data from the user, kind of like the way we used to do input to read data, to get data from the user from the command line. Tomorrow, we're actually going to have a shorter session, only for about 55 minutes. And so we'll just try to get caught up a bit and just move forward and hopefully talk about forms a little bit. So so once again, like, review the material today and see if you have any questions so that we can talk about them tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions right now before we wrap up? All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I hope you have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Do the same thing. So, bye.
Bye.